Welcome, everybody. We're live on the air. Welcome to the Stunthangar Control Line Hangouts. Well, not just control line, aeromodeling in general. But anyway, we are on the air Friday night, May 31st, the last day of May. And that means that this is Charles Carter's last day of being. Hang on, let me get it in front of the camera. This is Charles Carter's last day of being the featured May picture on this year's 2019 commemorative Stunthangar calendar, the Hangouts, Stunthangar Hangouts calendar. So you'll have to wait until Monday night when we find out who gets the June honors. Actually, it's Team Linsky. I'll go ahead and tell you now because everybody that's got a calendar knows. But anyway, thanks for gracing our May calendar, Charles, and we'll pass the torch on to Team Linsky now. So anyway, welcome to the Hangouts. The links are posted in all the usual places. The chat box is open, and the at the bench thread on Stunthangar Control Line forums is where you can go if you're logged into Stunthangar as a member and click the link in the newest post to come in here and chat with us with your camera and microphone. Otherwise, you can go to the Stunthangar forum, or rather the Stunthangar channel on YouTube, and watch us there and use the video, or excuse me, the text chat box, and I'll try to combine you texters in with our video guests and have some good conversations. I hope we'll keep going at least until midnight as usual, and if the conversation is enthralling, then we'll hang out, and the diehards will carry it on into the wee hours of the morning. So everybody, welcome, and you guys in the chat box, I appreciate if y'all will hit that $sign at the bottom. The block $sign is called Super Chat, and that sends a donation contribution to Sparky, Stunthangar, and everything it takes to keep it live. And oh, we got Michael Miller joining us. Hang on, Mike, and I'll show you in the program. Hang on. Okay, you're in. Unmute your mic and you'll be with us. And I've got to unmute my mic as well, because not my mic, but my speakers.
Yeah.
There we go.
Good to see you, Randy.
Good to see you too.
Back on here.
I saw you on Sparky's thread. I don't remember when it was. Was it yesterday or the day before?
Yesterday or the day before.
Yeah.
That was kind of an interesting thing he was doing.
Let me tell you what I want to tell everybody that comes in tonight is we've been having trouble with sound. We get echoes and chatter in the background. So I'm asking everybody that comes in who, like you, had to click the thread in at the bench to go ahead and close that at the bench thread before you continue on in here. And let's see if that has anything to do with it. So if you've got that open in your background, just close that at the bench thread, or click the home button. Just send it away from that page where it's got the embedded video. You see what I'm saying?
Like that? Yeah, I think so.
Okay. If you had the at the bench thread open and it's not open now, then we're good. Okay.
I think so.
Yeah. Okay. And if it works, it works. I doubt if it will, but it was something we've got to try anyway. So I'm going to tell everybody that comes in to do that. Meanwhile, we've got Bob Bishop in here, one of our first viewers, and then Gary Sinclair says, "Good evening, friends." Good evening, Gary. Gary and Bob, welcome. And so that about wraps up my opening comments. And so what you got? Oh, Jackson Avley. Hey, guys. Air guys. Yeah.
Oh, wow. We're having a few.
Yep.
I'm the only one actually on video, and you? That's what my screen says.
What does it say?
That it's just me and you that are video.
That's right.
Okay.
The rest of these guys I'm talking about are over on the YouTube side.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we got 9 people over there watching us, and I can identify Bob Bishop, Gary Sinclair, and Jack Snavely, and the rest of them are anonymous until they post or tell us otherwise. But that's the alternate way to join the Hangouts, and some people prefer watching it that way. That way they can putter around in the shop without us, watching what they're doing. So, but anyway, how are things up in Colorado?
Crazier than all get out.
What's so
Especially
crazy
with this lovely governor we have?
Y'all have a lovely governor, do you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Our governor's not very lovely, but that would anyway. So you building anything, flying anything?
I haven't been able to get much done building lately at all, between health stuff and money stuff and doing car stuff.
Oh, you got cars acting up on you?
We have an old vehicle and we wound up buying a much newer vehicle, and that took a dent out of the budget big time.
You ain't kidding. We did the same damn thing. We sliced our budget completely in half buying a new car, and it's nice. It's nice to have a dependable new car, but damn, it hurts.
Yeah, ours isn't even new. It was a 2016 with 35,000 miles on it.
It still got some warranty. That's pretty new these days. That's new. I mean,
that's way newer than a 2002 GMC Envoy with 240,000 miles.
Yeah. And besides that, you probably got some warranty still on it too, don't you?
I don't know if we do or not. We might have.
It depends. They have, some companies have long warranties, and some people just have 3 or 4 years, 60,000 miles, something like that. It just depends. And Bob Bishop says he just bought a new Civic last year. And you can get all sorts of different Civics, from entry level all the way up to serious hot rods. So what kind of Civic do you have, Bob? Do you have a hot rod Civic, or a Midland Civic, or a entry level Civic? Because Civic used to be Honda's entry level car, I think. And
pretty much.
Yeah, and it had little wheels on it that looked like lawnmower wheels or tricycle wheels, just about. And
actually, my dad owned a Honda that made a Civic look big. Our family owned a Honda 600.
What is that?
Which was about the size of a Mini Cooper, powered by a 600cc parallel twin.
Did it have 4 wheels, or?
Yes.
Did it? Okay. I've never seen.
We called it speed.
One like that.
I'll tell you what, it was nice in downtown Denver. You could fit through spaces most nothing else would.
This is not one of those things like my neighbor had when I was a kid, where the door opens and the whole front end of the car swings open. I mean, headlights, windshield, everything opens, and you crawl in.
Oh, an Isetta. No, it's about that size, but not. No.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Have you ever seen one?
Yeah, I've seen a few of them. Seen them in shows and stuff.
Yeah,
they're pretty rare. They're worth a bundle now.
I'll bet they are. I wouldn't want to get in a wreck with one, though. It does not look like a safe vehicle at all.
No. Yeah, we got a Jeep Cherokee, which is pretty much entry level for that Jeep, but it's pretty basic for a modern one anyway. Still pretty nice, though.
Let's see. Bob says he's just got a entry level Civic, but he said it's the only naturally aspirated manual they still make.
Wow!
And I'm glad you got a manual transmission. I prefer those, except that I go through periods where my shoulders hurt and that sort of thing, or my hip. I couldn't have driven a manual. But up until stuff like that started hitting me, I wouldn't even consider buying a car with an automatic transmission.
You like to can't buy them without it, with a
Yeah,
manual
I
anymore.
know. I know. But nowadays, automatic transmissions, at least on the performance end, are getting much, much better. With, I mean, they've got like, yeah, it got where a few years back they started putting 6-speed transmissions in them, and now they're putting 9-speed and more in them, and
Yeah.
they've got the ratios so close together that it's almost like a CVT. Oh yeah, most all automatics are now. Bob says are now CVT, but they're not really, Bob, are they? They're most. I mean, they've just got close ratio, multiple discrete gears still, right?
They actually called it a CVT on ours, but it also
Do
has
they?
a gated shifter setting, so you can manually shift that way. But
Yeah.
yeah, I kind of agree with you. It's a bunch of really close together ratios. I've heard there's been problems with them. Hopefully I don't run into any of them
Well,
with the CVTs.
yeah, anything that's first generation is gonna have glitches in it, but yeah, they just okay. But yeah, Bob says he thinks at least his CVT, or wait a minute, they're not his, but he thinks that most of the new CVTs just mimic shifts, which might be what you're saying. It's got a gated shifter that you can click
mimic
through,
shaft, yeah.
but it's just jumping that drive belt in there from one position to the next rather than a smooth transition.
Yeah. I haven't studied the CVTs at all. I don't even know what's in them.
It's basically a drive belt that slides up and down a pair of conical, a conical pulleys that take the power on the input side to the output side, and the ratio changes as the belt slides up and down. And I think it must have some kind of centrifugal controller. It's probably combined with vacuum and computer operated mechanism for sliding that belt around too, to different ratios. But it does change ratios. It's just a continuous without discrete gears.
Yeah.
I like slamming a Muncie 4-speed though. That's what I grew up with, and
that's about the first car I drove at
I'd probably
13
look
because my
silly out
mom
there.
couldn't see over the dash. My dad had to have somebody to drive it out of the mountains if he got hurt camping. And my mom couldn't see over the dash of the 63 Impala. So the first thing I ever drove was a 63 Impala station wagon that was a 409 and a Muncie close ratio. So I've been a gearhead all my life, basically. Talk about the ultimate sleep.
Really, the station wagon had a Muncie in it, huh? Not a Saginaw.
No, it had a 409 with a Muncie 4-speed.
Here comes Sparky. Let me let the man in.
Yeah.
Here we go. Good evening, Sparky. How are you tonight?
I'm all right.
Hey, Sparky. How's it back?
Getting ready for the drive back to tornado-stricken Dayton.
What does it sound like your neighborhood looks like? You think your property's okay?
It's really strange. It hit all around me. It did not hit. I mean, I was there when the tornado went through, right? And I said, I looked out the door. I said, "Man, it's windy out there."
And it's not a good thing to be out in.
It tore up the neighborhood all around me, but didn't hit my building.
Wow.
And I mean, it uprooted 40-foot high trees, and the root balls were 25 foot around,
Oh, geez.
Well, you must have good karma, buddy, because I'm glad it didn't. Glad it didn't get you.
That's a good thing.
It tore the roofs off places. It powers out. It's terrible. That's why I wasn't on Monday.
I've been watching you. You've been entertaining us lately. I watched you and John and a couple of those videos. I hadn't watched any of them all the way through yet, but I like the little profile y'all are building.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to be ready for Brodak.
I like the styrofoam stuffed geodetic structure in the back of the fuselage, though. That looks pretty cool. Sheeted.
Well, that's a big long piece, a half inch. I didn't have a piece that long. We just decided, well, we'll do this and put some foam in it to make it anti-crush proof. Turned out good.
Yeah, getting
So
a big piece of half inch is
this
kind of hard anymore.
is going to be an experimental airplane.
Yeah.
It'll be the first airplane probably to get in the air with my pocket hinge flaps, but we're also going to, because the dope and the primer is so unavailable, it's going to be a Z-epoxy base coat, clear coat car paint job.
Ooh.
I was going to try to make it
anyway. Hopefully not.
I was going to try to make it super light.
Yeah.
I was going to try to make it super light, but we're going to try to experiment with it instead.
Yeah. Yeah, that car paint adds up in a hurry.
So what kind of trouble you having getting dope? Is it getting scarce now?
No, dope's not scarce, but no DC 540. We're also going to try, I'm going to try to make my own DC 540. And I'm going to take clear dope and tint it with white till it's opaque. Then put a couple drops of black in it till it's light gray. Then add zinc stearate. Then I'm going to add xylene and MEK for thinners.
Okay.
See, we can't speed up the.
Yeah, that'll gas off in a hurry. That's good.
Make it like a DC 540 instead of dope.
Well,
right off.
I've been trying to decide what to use for filler because I'm about to put some on my half A Hyper Viper, and instead of DC 540, I was wondering about mixing micro balloons with some dope and thinner and seeing how that worked. And I've done baby powder before, but what do you think about micro balloons?
I don't. I tried it. It don't work.
Really? And these are the glass ones, not the phenolic, but still. Okay, I won't try it then if you've already tried it. I've used baby powder, and that seemed pretty good.
The problem with baby powder is it's rock.
Is what?
It's rock.
Oh.
Yeah, it's talc.
Yeah,
ground out.
So you might want to try cornstarch.
Oh, that's a good idea. That's pretty.
Or arrowroot, maybe.
I'm gonna go with cornstarch. That's a good idea. It's super fine, and I've already got some too. Here comes somebody called TJ. Let's see who TJ is.
TJ or whatever.
Take a chance on you. Okay, TJ, turn your microphone on, and you'll be in with us.
All right.
Here you go.
Sorry about that. I already did that.
Good evening.
Yeah.
Evening. How you doing?
You're
Okay.
a new visitor with us, aren't you?
What's that?
You're a new visitor with us, aren't you?
On the Hangouts, yeah.
Yeah.
I've been on Stunthangar since last spring.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, welcome. Glad to have you.
Glad.
Thanks.
And he's a Wuzzy Buzzard.
Okay.
A Wuzzy Buzzard out of Dayton.
Oh, okay.
David Phelps just came in on YouTube. Hey, David.
I guess I could fly my classic at Brodak instead of. I was going to try to fly 2 events instead of just one. I got my classic Continental behind me. All I need to do is rob the muffler off one airplane and put it on there, and that'll be ready to go.
That's sure a gorgeous thing.
I've always liked it. It's the airplane that got me started in stunt over 50 years ago.
Same plane?
No, it's an exact copy of the same plane.
Gotcha.
My dad had a hobby shop, and our tester's rep was a guy named Tom Warden. You might have read about him. and he designed this airplane in 1969, and it flew. Well, it was in model airplane news in '71, but 69 he had this one and a Monado. This is the classic Continental, and the Monado is the same thing, only I-beam and the same
Gotcha.
size. And those were, you know, classic legal. And I always loved that airplane, so I built an exact replica of his with the changes that were suggested by him. The original one had an inch longer nose, and it was just way too long.
That landing gear looks like it's got a pretty big forward sweep out in front of the wing to it. Maybe it's just.
It doesn't.
I see the wheel now, so it just looks like it does.
Those pants look like it's way forward.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are Tom Warden banana pants.
Yeah.
Bet you don't use those on grass much.
No, they're great on grass. They slide like skis.
Oh,
That's all we ever flew on.
okay.
Now, his
A lot of
airplane,
people's pants don't work on grass.
his airplanes were lower than this. So we used to run a 9.5 3-blade Gersh propeller. So it was, you know, you get the ground clearance. But this is I think this is a 11.6 EW unobtainium propeller.
Yeah. And that's a Super Tiger 46, I'm guessing.
This is the George Aldrich Super Tiger 46 in this one.
That's a hard one to get a hold of. I'm sure. That's almost like a Jim Greenaway Super Tiger 60, probably.
So what you working on? What you working on, TJ?
What's that?
What you working on?
Oh, this is a Pat King Quickie Rat. I'm building it as a speed trainer, so it's rigged up for clockwise and all that. And
Yeah.
if I manage to get the hang of this without stuffing it, we're going to be building the Pink Lady next.
Ooh.
Are you into speed mostly with control line, or what's your favorite discipline in control line?
I'm an open book. I've
Really, everything.
Yeah, I've been doing stunt. Well, if you want to call it that. I'll be flying stunt at Brodeck and at the Nats in the beginner class. I built I've got a Sportsman Goodyear built to the Dallas rules for the Nats as well. Plan on flying this at the Nats.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got people come in and visit us that do just about everything except we don't have any real carrier people, and I've been trying to recruit a few, but their carriers kind of dwindling. There's just not that many of them out there. Can't interest anybody in coming in.
I got one of them.
TJ and watch the racing events.
What's
Have
that?
you
Sparky?
been to the Nats and watched the racing events, TJ?
Nope, this will be my first controlling Nats. I've been to the helicopter Nats before, but
Okay.
this will be first controlling Nats.
Oh, wow.
Good luck.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Good for you.
What sort
I'm
of
a big
events do
chicken.
they have at the helicopter Nats? I presume they fly a stunt pattern and combat and that
Yeah,
kind
they
of
do. Well, no combat with helicopters. That's
That's
exceedingly
probably a
dangerous.
bad idea.
Yeah. That might be a real
And they
problem.
do, what is it? F3C, which is their version of stunt. You know, you go through a prescribed set of patterns, and that's stupidly hard to do. I tried doing that, and it's just a joke. Scale, 3D flying is kind of let it all hang out. There's a set of known maneuvers they got to do, and then there's unknowns that they can do whatever they want. But it's pretty wild, the helicopter stuff. I got out of it because it was just too freaking expensive.
Yeah. I would love to watch those gassers fly, though. Those helicopter pilots are amazing.
Oh, yeah. And the scale of those guys are just absolutely insane. I mean, just works of art.
You know, there's only one hobby.
Yep. I have a feeling probably with the carrier end of it, that is such a challenging event because you're basically building an almost scale airplane that has to be fast and slow.
Yeah, carrier's nuts. I got a flight freak that I plan on rigging up for carrier.
Oh,
Then
wow.
the other set of fun stuff.
Hey, Clark, I got those ball links
That's
in
all
the
rocketry.
other day. Hold on. I got those ball links in the other day, but they're metric threaded. To what size rod do I need?
Ooh.
Metric 3.
3? 3 by what?
It's the standard 3. Whatever is the standard 3. I think it's only one M3.
Same with the left hand?
Yes.
Okay, so where do you get left-handed metric threads?
Just get a rod that's right-handed and then left-handed is the one that you screw in and makes the adjustment, and just cut the ends off and use that.
Where do I find those?
Good question. eBay has a bunch.
McMaster car, somebody like that.
McMaster, Hobby King. I don't think McMaster has metric left-hand threads.
Quarter inch.
Yeah.
I don't think McMaster has that, but you can get some. Just go search the Sparky for right hand and left hand. It's just like a RC. The car world is full of it.
A tie rod and okay.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
GW.
Have that.
One at a time.
Okay.
Yeah, we can't talk over each other. Y'all gotta remember. It takes a while to get the hang of it, but yeah, we wait and take turns talking. Also, for TJ that might not know, everybody else does that. If somebody's holding something up to show you, like I'm in front of the camera right now showing you this piece, if you want to see it large, then if you're on a computer, mouse down and click on the thumbnail at the bottom of the picture of the person that's holding something up to show, and you'll get them full screen. Their little picture will have a white bar around it. They just unclick it the same way. That way, and sometimes I'll highlight people too if I want to make sure I present it to everybody. But that helps you see what people are showing you. And Bob Bishop says M3 by 0.5 he thinks would be the metric that you're looking for.
Yes.
I don't have my electronic keyboard here. I gotta walk over here to do it.
If you go Sparky, I put your link over there. If you look at that link, the search I made.
Okay,
Okay, in the group chat.
got it.
Okay. So you can pick anything from over there. Some are longer, some are short. If you choose to go to a 3mm ID to the 5mm OD carbon fiber rod, then you can just cut those the flat side on those things, insert them inside, just do your thing, and you're done. That's it.
You get 2 rods for $9.
Yeah, I mean, you know where you can find them cheaply at the Loft Hobby.
Or you get 4. You get 4. Okay.
Or just buy a tap and die set.
Yeah.
I've never seen a 440 left-handed tap and die or die.
I happen to work on machines to make that kind of stuff, you know.
Do you have a left-handed die 440?
I could make one if need be.
McMaster probably has it.
Are you a machinist, TJ?
I work for a company called United Grinding. We sell and service a bunch of European high-accuracy grinding machines. I specialize in once upon a time applications for cylindrical grinding. So camshafts, fuel injectors, hip joints, hydraulic valves, all sorts of stuff like that. And then I worked on those machines for a while, just servicing them. Now I work for our tool division, machines called Walter, and anything that spins and cuts, Walter machines make.
All right.
You want to check
Sparky,
them
I'm
out? Go to
sending you a link.
Excuse me?
So I'm sending you another link, Sparky, for the Loft Hobbies for those carbon fiber tubes. Nice, TJ.
Yeah.
I already got it.
I'm a machinist too.
Yeah, I got something I was going to show off. If nobody came in on camera, so I'll show y'all. This is the middle of daylily season now in my area, and my in-laws used to hybridize them, and these bloom and last for a day. And I'm surprised this is not shriveled up by now, but it's called Dance With Me. They've got all kinds of odd names depending on who names it and hybridizes it, but man, they used to put these in shows and win the head table, and they're way more serious in their shows than we are when we go out and fly. This is another one, and
Put some clear urethane on it.
what you say, Sparky?
Spray it with clear urethane, it'll last forever.
That's true. You could tip it, but yeah, this one's got pollen all over it that spilled on it. Judges will ding you for that, getting pollen where it's not supposed to be, and so they're always out there grooming them with Q-tips and doing all kind of stuff. But anyway, that's a couple of the ones I picked today, and one of my favorite ones is already shriveled up, so there's not much left of it. But they're really pretty flowers. I like to pick a few of them and put them around every day, and then you just throw them away at night because they shrivel up, and the next day other blooms on the spike will be open, and they're pretty cool flowers. I'm not a much of a horticulturist, but my wife comes from an agricultural family, so I kind of got into some of that and have watched and appreciated. Kind of like music, I can't play anything but the drums, but I can appreciate.
Yeah.
I can play the radio.
Pretty.
I play the radio pretty damn good, yeah. I play Pandora. I can play a bar table pretty good too. I found out some regular Keith Moon quality material on a bar table.
Hey TJ, what do you figure it costs to make a left-handed 440 die? 10 grand?
Not quite 10 grand, no. I would have to look into it, see if we have any blanks or anything like that. I can let you know. But I would guess, I don't know, maybe that you want it out of carbide or high-speed steel?
Carbide. Gotta be, a die has gotta be hard.
Yeah.
Well, there are plenty hard steels. They just don't last as long as the carbides. I'll take a look into it and let you know.
What is carbide? Is that a steel alloy or is that something entirely different?
It's a tungsten cobalt alloy. It's actually a powder that they press into a form for a rough shape. Then they fire it kind of like a ceramic. And then you grind it to the final shape. You need diamond wheels and stuff like that to cut it.
Mm-hmm.
And silicon carbide wheels can cut it, but they don't last long. That's 1930s technology using silicon carbide to try and grind that.
Figure a 440 bolt is a little bit about 3/32 in diameter. I want to see how they cut the threads in that die, left-handed.
It's no different than cutting right-handed die.
I thought a 440 bolt was 1/8 in diameter.
Yeah, pretty close.
It's no different than doing a right-handed one. You just tilt the helix the other direction.
Yeah, but how do you cut something that small?
They're not really. They're still a wheel, but they're kind of more like a grinding pin. They've got the 60-degree included angle made right into it. They're real small, spin high RPM, probably like about 100,000 RPM or so.
It's not a tap. They don't tap it, right?
No, you don't tap carbide. No.
Here comes Steve Hines. One moment. There we go, Steve.
Hey, Steve.
And let's see, today being May 31st is Charles Carter's last day of dominating our Hangouts calendar. There he is. One last look at Charles before he goes to the back of the stack. June 1st comes up. It'll be Team Lansky.
Team Lansky?
Lansky.
Hey, what kind of brush?
Mike and Sam Lansky. That's a Londke. Our Polish contingent.
What kind of brushes do you guys brush and dope?
Dope brushes.
Dope, yeah, obviously, but what brand?
I use artist brushes. Camel hair, get them for $365. Shaper's Hobby. Long, they're like a sign brush, like a sign quill, but they're just a cheap artist brush for whatever. I don't know what acrylic, but they work good with dope. They're camel hair.
Yeah, I tried these camel hair brushes from Brodak, and I'm getting really sick of constantly picking hairs out of it. It's kind of annoying. You would think it would kind of break in and then be good, but that's just constant with this.
Hold that brush up. Let me look at it.
Yeah, let me click on that too.
Yeah, the brush I use is very similar to that, but like you can get them from Gumbacher. The heel will hold the hairs in better.
All right, yeah, I don't remember what brand this is, but it's whatever Brodak sells, and man, it just sheds like crazy all the time.
It's a cheap as you can get Chinese brush.
Oh, what? You're a fan of something Chinese? Oh man.
Yeah, I've got a pack of brushes I bought from Walmart that is probably going to be just as annoying as that with hairs falling out. I have yet to use them, but it was about 50 brushes of assorted sizes in a $5 pack. So we'll see how that works.
I take dope and pour on the brush and set them tail down. Let the dope work down in there, dry up, and I'll hold them bristles. Work like.
Let's give that a shot.
I don't have any brushes here. They're all back over John's, but the ones I get from Schaefer's are under $4, and to doctor them up, I did a video on it. To doctor them up, you got to strip the paint off the wood handle, or else it'll all melt off with the dope. And I drill a hole in it, and I stick it in the dope, and let it hang in the dope jar.
Yeah.
I don't think yeah, they're at John's.
Sparky, you at your apartment up here, or are you back home in St. Louis?
This is St. Louis.
How bad did St. Louis get hit with the tornadoes and stuff? I know.
There's flooding here.
Pardon me?
Flooding. The River des Peres over its banks. They're sandbagging. But we're up probably 25, 30 feet from.
Yeah, that one day I knew that no matter where you were at, either in St. Louis or in Ohio, that both places were getting nailed.
Well, I tell you what, Monday night when the tornado came through, it ripped the roof off the building next to us, ripped the trees out, knocked the power down. So, my phone went off, that stupid alert, and it's just annoying. So I looked out the door and the wind was hauling ass, man. I go, wow, it's windy out here.
Were you at the shop or at your apartment?
I was at the apartment.
Oh,
I looked out the window or out the door. Man, it's windy out here. Shut the door, went back in and watched TV. Then the power went out. And, I just got the trailer. So I got my car battery out of the trailer and my inverter and set up my TV and all that stuff. It'll run 8 hours on one battery charge. So the TV. So I was all right. no internet, but I had TV.
Well, that's good. So, how bad did it get the shop or anything, or?
They didn't have power till today, but I drove down by the shop and it didn't do any damage down there. They closed down the. You can see. Well, it wiped out the Dayton flying circles. And you can see where it came through. There's a path where it just ripped the trees up and the roofs off the houses and all that stuff. You been down in the circles, TJ?
No, I haven't. You said it got. I saw pictures of the RC field. They got messed up.
Yeah.
How are the circles?
Yeah, and there's a bunch of trees sticking up, and every stick, and it's just a big stick sticking out of the ground. All the leaves are gone, and the branches are gone. They just stripped them.
Oh man!
And then down
the
there,
circles one piece, or they get messed up.
I don't know. The porta potty's gone. The pavilion's gone.
I figured that much.
If you go down Riverside Drive in that area, it tore the roofs off the houses down there. The apartments down there. It's bad.
Oh, man.
I've never been in a tornado, so I didn't know. And when I talked to the lady that lives down on the end of the building, in the same building I'm in, she said, I spent all night in the bathtub. I said, why? She goes, the wind. I go, oh, shit, why? I mean, I've been through some really bad earthquakes in California, like 7.2 or whatever, and 69. And then there's some, 6 point. They're really good, they're really strong earthquakes. And it emptied our swimming pool, took 30,000 gallons of water and threw it out. And you can see the houses turning like that, and people would be freaking out. I'd just be sitting there waiting for it to stop. There's nothing you can do. The construction in California is different than here, though. An earthquake would tear this house up. It's brick, so it would not twist. But
That's
yeah,
funny. Bring up swimming pool.
I
One
still
of the
got.
guys I work with was on a swimming pool in the backyard. Got picked up and thrown into his house. Who knows how much water got sucked out of it first? But his pool held about 15,000 gallons of water. It's an above ground, big ass above ground pool, and hit hard enough that his insurance adjuster isn't wondering if the house didn't move a little bit because his doors aren't lining up right in the back and stuff like that.
Well, the pool I'm talking about was a kidney-shaped in-ground pool, and it emptied it.
Yeah, those earthquakes are something different, that's for sure.
You can see and feel the earth rolling like that. It's really strange, the bed jumped across the floor. It's weird. There's nothing you can do about it.
I had a kind of close encounter, not with a California level, but years ago I was up going to a bike camp out with a friend of mine in Beaver, Utah, when that earthquake hit by Zion. That was interesting, sleeping on the ground, feeling the ground move under you. Thought, oh, that's the wind. No, it was an earthquake.
I would have liked to have a video of what I looked like looking out the door, because I remember saying, wow, it's windy out here. I didn't realize it was a tornado.
Yeah,
Rich, I know, just came in.
Yeah, I see. Hang on, Rich. I'm letting you in.
yeah. When I was a kid, my mom and dad bought a house, and they closed on it one day, and then, back then people got 60 days before they got out or whatever. But the very next day, a tornado went through and tore trees up, but didn't really hurt the house or anything like that. But all the trees were down. And then 3 years ago, a tornado went right back through the same neighborhood. But that time it tore out 180 some trees. And I mean, these things were monster trees.
Down on Riverside Drive, these monster trees got uprooted. You'll see them laying over on the side with a 25-foot ball of dirt on the end of them. Just huge root ball.
Yeah. That's the
How the
same.
hell did the wind? I mean, I guess it was an E3 tornado. So,
No, they upped it to a 4.
no, they did.
Yeah, they always use snow plows on I-75 to clear the debris.
It was bad. I know that for sure.
Hey, Rich, I've been listening for when people come in. Sometimes a new member will join and comes in with chatter. And I was asking if y'all can shut your at the bench window that you use to click in here and see if that helps get rid of some of that chatter.
Shut it off.
Yeah, just send it, just click the home button or something on that tab and just send it away from the at the bench thread.
Yeah.
Just one window open now.
Okay.
Yeah, it sounds better.
Never have figured out what all that chatter's about, but the more people we get, the worse it gets.
Yeah.
There is no support for Hangouts anymore.
Yeah, no. Yeah, there's nobody we can go crying to about it. So. I think I think it's better now that you shut that window, though.
Yep. Yeah, so it must help a little anyway.
Yeah, anybody else that's got their at the bench window open, if you get around to it, go ahead and close it too, and we'll see. Tonight's not been too bad, but some nights it's almost impossible to have a conversation.
Sparky, did you get your wings, Bill?
Or we got them cut, but they're not covered yet. They won't get covered till Sunday. I'll be back in Dayton on Sunday, and I'll sheet them Sunday. And the stab's built, fuselage is done, rudder's on, so it's pretty close.
Yeah, I watched where you're cutting foam and stuff at lunchtime, and I figured I'd watch the rest of it, and I can't find it on there on my phone or whatever. But yeah, the fuselage looks nice and everything.
And there's only 3 videos.
Oh, okay. But you got your ribs cut out and sanded, and
Yeah, foam cores are ready to go. I just got to get back and to sheet them. I got to get in my apartment and get some more light wood.
oh, you're gonna do foam core? I thought you were gonna do that lost foam deal or whatever.
It's different than it's too hard to explain. That's why I like video. It's D. Rice's method, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to make a foam wing. But the intent was to do D. Rice's method where you sheet it and gut all the foam out of it.
Oh, okay.
Hello. Ahora está tallado el servicio.
Oh my gosh, no.
Somebody's got some chatter going.
That's Brian talking to somebody in the background.
Oh. Oh, great.
I didn't know about that.
How are they doing?
They have tornadoes in St. Louis.
Then pass the bar exam. Let's start the first question.
When you pass the bar exam?
An E4.
Oh, you do? How many?
Now it looks like he's gonna do it in checkerboard.
Yeah, looks like it. I like checkerboard. I've only put it in patches, so I've never covered a whole wing with it. I've got to make some checkerboard for my Hyper Viper, but it's got a irregular shape to it. Some of the checks are curved, and I'm going to trying to replicate the original scheme. And I've got a couple of pictures of Hyper Vipers from different angles, and so I might have to just cut out a mask, manually cut out a mask and lay it down and spray it. I could
You know how much time we lost drawing a set of plans, showing how the plans are drawn? Yeah, ridiculous. Usually I just draw it on a piece of wood and go build it.
Yeah, and we couldn't see the lines on the paper either on the camera. I usually draw it up first just to get an idea of what parts to cut out, but it ends up changing as I go along. I don't stick straight to it.
But did that for that guy. How do you draw a set of plans?
Well, I hope he got some good information out of that. Y'all talked about it while you were doing it, and you mentioned a couple of things like where the datum line goes, in comparison with the thrust line.
You have to get when you go shopping, going through a lot.
There was some useful info in that.
So, Dick, you don't try to fly tomorrow?
I'll
Flying
try.
tomorrow. It's flying down in Cincinnati tomorrow.
It's been blowing like crazy up here today, and it's supposed to be windy for another couple of days.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't get the wind. I see it's supposed to rain later tonight again.
Yeah.
I'm going to do some sanding tomorrow. I started getting the final sanding done on my Hyper Viper last night, and then decided to start reshaping. I'm trying to round some of the squarish corners, and so all of a sudden it snowballed on me, and so I got more and more sanding I got to do before it's ready. Trying to get the.
I wish they'd turn on some of that global warming.
Somebody should.
It's globally warm in my shop. It's been 100 degrees every day.
Well,
So-
if there ain't no such thing as global warming, then God hates the red states.
Well, it's only went up 1/10 of 1 degree in 200 years, so I guess.
It rises and falls with time.
Yeah,
Always has.
Climate change 4 times a year. Got to tell Ocasio-Cortez that. Climate change 4 times a year: winter, spring, summer, and fall.
We're at the mercy of the sun whenever it decides to belch too.
The climate change guys are wrong. Nothing's really going to happen. But if the non-believers are wrong, shit's bad. So you can
Regardless of your feelings on the topic, you can't argue that it wouldn't hurt to clean up our act.
one is screwed. So you can bet on whatever, but
My dad's 96, and he said that this shit's been going on his whole life. He said Chicken Little, the sky is falling, has been going on since the 20s.
well, we got to do sizing for HVAC equipment, so we follow real close on trends and stuff like that, and we got to keep increasing air conditioning. So I don't know if it's getting hotter or the air conditioners aren't working as good.
Think about it. You know all about it. 134A as opposed to R12 or whatever. It was 12.
34A is that's going away. I think 2000.
Yeah. The environmentalist wackos are making the chemicals go away. So anything that works quits, because it used to be 12. And 12 was good.
was designed as a stopgap measure anyways. That wasn't meant to be the actual solution.
It's all about money and patents. It has nothing to do with what works better or whatever. Because
right.
what works really good and they use in Europe is propane. Propane is one of the best refrigerants there is, but there's no patent on it, and they can't sell it for a lot of money.
Pretty flammable too.
Anybody got any aeromodeling to talk about?
Not really. Fortunately, we could talk about anything.
Aeromodeling, what is that? Well, I'm just putting this guy together. That's what I'm planning to do. I decided to come here on a forum and have some fun with it.
What is that?
It's a twister wing for my son, so building him a plane, and I'm just putting the covering on it.
So
My one Voodoo has the same checkerboards on the bottom.
What?
My Voodoo has the same checkerboards on the bottom.
Ah, cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that checkerboard looks good when you're pulling over into a wing over. It looks good going over the top of that checkerboard.
Now the idea is, how do I get this thing perfectly in the center over there, other than just eyeballing it?
If it looks right, it probably is right.
Famous last words, right?
And someone was talking about doing a bunch of sanding. I sprayed silver on that gypsy I've been building the other day. Wow, I did not realize how horrible silver makes stuff look the first coat you lay down on it. I understand that's the point of the stuff, but wow, I thought it looked pretty good.
You'll be sanding on in 6 months. Silver is terrible. Silver has adhesion too. Paint don't stick to silver worth a crap. So be careful. Be ready filling up the paint.
I was using it more as a guide coat than anything.
Best thing if you're gonna, there is no more DC 540s. Use solar gray.
I'm going to have to go inventory my paint shelf tomorrow. I bet I've got 2 or 3 bottles of DC 540 left. I'll use them up pretty quick.
Sell them make some money on it. You can raise the price about 3 times.
Yeah.
That's what you want to pay for a can of 540.
I'm going to make my own.
Hopefully that works.
No, I'm sure it will. John and I were talking. Somebody sat around. Nobody IR squared that shit. Some painter got in there and said, "Well, we need to make some primer, so let's take some gray and add some toluene and add some, xylene and I got the stuff to do it, so no big deal." This here's a can of zinc stearate.
This is flume silica.
What?
Flume silica. It's probably a quarter of the weight of zinc stearate, maybe even less than a quarter. Flume silica is the lightest filler you can get for paint. The bitch is you got to wear a mask because when you open it up, it floats. So I always mix it with my dope and stuff outside because it's so fluffy. It looks like cottonwood trees when that shit floats in the air. That's how light flume silica is.
I really like Aero Gloss and baby powder. Johnson's baby powder makes it smell so nice.
Isn't that baby powder very heavy?
Yeah, it's rock.
Yeah.
I used it once. It did pretty good. I mixed it with polyacrylic, which was heavy anyway, and but it did a good job of filling. And it was easy to tell when you were finished sanding it because you just watch the powder come off, and as soon as it quits, it's time to stop, wipe it down, and go for another coat if you needed it.
Well, you know what a bottle of baby powder weighs? If you poured that in a plastic bag and hung onto it, or zinc stearate, you'd fill the weight. If you take flume silica and put in a plastic bag, you'd swear you had nothing in the plastic bag.
Yeah.
So which is heavier, a pound of baby powder or a pound of silica?
I think they both weigh a pound.
There you go.
Well,
Not true.
Well, what volume do they take up?
A cubic foot of zinc styrate and a cubic foot of flume silica. That's where you run into it.
It's not weight, it's density you're worried about.
Right.
Which one is less dense?
Cubic foot of it
Yeah, exactly.
lower in flume silica.
Oh, and I bet you the plume silica wins you by a long shot.
Sparky, how much is a pound of 3-pound balsa wood, and how much is a pound of the 10-pound balsa wood?
It's the volume of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But what it is
Trick question.
the super fill that everybody uses and loves, and it's so light, that's flume silica in that. I've been making that stuff up since the 80s. But it's just easier to buy it that way.
Where can you buy zinc stearate? Is that something you can get at a paint store?
Randy's.
Yeah, that sells zinc stearate. But if you get on eBay, you can buy a pound of flume silica. Will last you the rest of your life. You can get, if you buy a pound of it. I forget what it is. But a 5-pound bag of flume silica was twice as big as a 50-pound bag of titanium dioxide. That's how light the stuff is. It weighs nothing. But that's all that superfill is. It's just epoxy and flume silica.
How do you spell flume?
How do you what?
Lume.
Yeah, it ain't here. No, eBay ain't got it.
Flume silica.
Got sand.
Sand? Yeah, that'll work. 50-pound bag of pool sand.
Silica blast.
Check mica sill. It might be under the name of mica sill.
Rich must have left. Back in now. Hang on, Rich.
Camera's going goofy.
No. Nickel. Try 2 words. Vintage mica flakes.
So if I'm going to cover my fuselage with silk span before I paint it, is there as much of a need to use any filler on it before I put the paper over it, or will the paper cover the grain?
I've been painting and finishing without any primer. Period. Just sand with 320. Sand it down to 320. Make sure you get all the dents out of it. Block it out. 3 coats of dope. Sand it 320 in between. Put your paper on. 3 coats of 50/50. Block it down with 320 and put the color on it.
That'll save me some trouble. So I'm gonna ditch the idea of making the filler then. So the only place I really need it is in the grain. I want to cover up on the front of the canopy, but I can do that with superfill and just rub it in with my thumb probably, then sand it smooth.
I've been using epoxy finishing resin for a lot of those spots.
Yeah, I've got that too.
In order to get a 6.5 to 7 ounce finish, you can't use any primer. Like my new airplane's got no primer because we couldn't get any DC 540, the good stuff. So it's just clear dope.
I'm thinking I'll just do like you said, dope it up and put Dr. paper on it and call it done. I've been told that the tautening butyrate's gonna eventually cause the grain to show back through the through the tissue. I don't know if that's true or not. I guess we'll find out.
It's always shrinking. But your airplane won't last that long, so don't worry about it.
You're probably right about that. Actually, my half-A planes generally do last longer than the big ones.
10 years?
I've got a couple that I've flown for that long, yeah.
My Supermarine up there's, let's see, 2002, 10. Let me get that one down. It's a 2002.
My two flight streaks, my two half-A flight streaks and my little Satan are that old and they're still flying.
Rusty, why do you bother with that stuff? I mean, it's not like you're gonna win a contest because it's so pretty or something like that. You want to go out and fly, just cover it with monocoat.
I answered that question the other night. You asked me why.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's because I want to do something I've never done before.
Oh, okay. So
This is different too. I just want to make this plane a project, you know, some to try stuff I've never done, and so one to see just how good I can do it with the old-fashioned way of doing things. I've never used anything but paint on fuselages, but it's the wing I've never done tissue and dope with before, so that'll be my first on that. But that's the only reason.
Okay.
I'm a monocoat hack on the wings. I usually do monocoat on all of those, and I'm good with monocoat, and so you know,
Nice.
stick with that.
I haven't done monocoat in a long time now.
I tried ultra coat first, and then I tried monocoat, and each one has some advantages, but I ended up sticking with the monocoat. The ultra coat has a more widely spaced temperature for heat and adhesion, for adhesion and shrinkage rather, and the monocoat, the temperatures kind of overlap, so you got to get used to that. But you know, if you're aware of which one you're using, it works out pretty well either way. I can brute force monocoat around corners more than I can brute force ultra coat.
Oh, I see that. I put a weight on top of my, because it's a twister wing, has no taper, nothing into it. I just supported the trailing edge here, so it's nice and horizontal. I put some weight on top of it just to keep it nice and flat, without any twist in it. And then I pull the edge of the, you know, this covering that I have over here. And hopefully the covering doesn't have any twist in it to begin with. Just kind of even. So that's what I was doing here, just to make sure that the wing is not twisted or anything like that as I'm doing it. And I locked in the trailing edge. This is like one piece sheet that goes all the way around.
I try not to stick it to the rib tops. And
no. Yeah. Yes, sir.
This airplane is 12 years old and it doesn't have any spots in it that have been sucked down. So
that's cool.
I like that.
It's the way forerunner of a Spitfire.
yeah. Well, it's got some dust on it.
Yeah, mine had cobwebs connecting all my planes together. After the winter, when I went out there this spring, I had to take a broom and disconnect all of them from each other. The spiders had gone to town on them.
So
this airplane flew pretty good.
is it that the plane that you built like in a week or something?
No.
Because I remember you said you made one that's in a week or something like that.
That was an Aries.
Oh, cool. That's pretty fast building anyways.
It was 11 days.
Hey.
Start to finish.
Not bad.
This one here, this is a Thunderbolt wing. It's a redesigned Thunderbolt is what it is, really. But it was light. It was 58 ounces, I think. PA 65 on a muffler. Wish I had this piece of wood that was in this cow. It was super wood.
That's something I've been running into. I was going to order some sea grain and some contest balsa from SIG.
Good luck with that.
I tried ordering it in March. I guess they had a fire in their saw room. They're still not caught up from that.
One of our guys
gave
has
up
been
and
trying to
paid.
get an answer as far as castor oil, and he can't get an answer out of him for that.
Yeah. Yeah, I could. That would be a scary thing, sawing a saw room where you saw balsa, all that balsa dust catching. I'll bet that burned pretty quick. You probably lost a lot of wood in the process.
Where's all that chatter coming from?
I don't know.
All right.
I can't tell.
Aircraft Cruise carries Cabicel, which is their name for flume silica. $14 a pound.
Cavasil?
Yeah.
I'll write it down.
I believe when I ordered this from a company on eBay, they also sell all the filling stuff like Cabicel and stuff.
Hold it up higher. Now hold it closer to your left. There we go. There you go. All right. Got
I
it.
think I got it through eBay, but I think they had Cabicel.
Yeah, on eBay it's $6.50. But
Okay, how do you spell it?
it's cab, CAB dash O dash silk.
Okay. I'll make my own DC 540.
I had no idea the Cabicel was that much lighter.
Yeah. Well, there's another place called Zodby, and you can get a quart tub of it for $8.99.
The one I gave Sparky was uscomposites.com.
Hey, Tryon, is that black and white or is that blue and white checker? Oh, he doesn't have his headphones in, his earbuds. I'll ask him.
Blue.
Looks blue, yeah.
Yeah, it does. I was thinking it was
blue.
black.
The light.
I'll ask him when he puts his earbuds back in.
Yeah.
Hey, Rich, did you turn your, did you close the at the bench thread when you came in the second time?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
We're still getting chatter from somebody. Josh Moon, what's going on, brother? And he says he heard that you can do is, I heard that you can do call-ins on this channel, not on the telephone. Yes, Josh, we can see your comments. No, if you want to come in live, you've got to be a member of the Stunthangar control line forums and go to the at the bench thread. Let me know if you're a member and I'll guide you to that thread and you can join us. Hey, Jeff, do you know Josh? Anybody know Josh Moon?
Yeah, it's probably Steve Moon's son.
Maybe.
Could be.
Anyway, he's looking to come in. He was asking about if we can see his comments, but yes, we can see your comments, Josh. So, if you want to come in live, let me know and we'll talk you in.
Hey, Trayan, is that black and white or blue and white
Blue and white.
checkerboard?
It's blue and white.
Yeah.
Pretty.
So I take it came in early. You didn't have to wait till next week to get it, huh?
Actually, it came in. Yeah. This came in a little bit earlier than I expected.
So what?
You just post the link in the chat box for him and then take it retracted.
Okay.
So colors though did you get? Checkerboard, blue and white checkerboard.
That's it.
Okay. You got a fuselage?
I'm sorry.
Camera head will get some things.
Are you got the fuselage?
Yes. This
Okay.
is my son's design. You see it?
It's already done, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
That's what he wants. If it was me, I'll probably make a same color blue here, just blue and white. So I have the same colors in the wing as I have in the fuselage. But he wants this. He likes this. So oh well.
Pink airplanes I had to help build.
Exactly.
Purple, pink, maroon.
Whatever gets the job done, right?
Whatever they like. I mean, that's all that matters.
Exactly.
So you'll have that go by tomorrow, probably, huh? Glue wings in, and
What?
I said you should have that about ready to go by tomorrow.
Yes, but I don't have batteries for it.
Did you ever
Well, what the hell?
to see what pulls, how many amps, and all that?
Actually, I did. I just did it today, maybe half an hour before I got on the chat here. And the Axie draws about 22 amps at maximum RPM on 4S and 12.6 prop on it. The other motor draws 6 amps. Now the prop I will actually use on the plane is probably most likely it's going to be an 11-inch prop, and the Axie with 11-inch is drawing 20 amps with a 2-blade 11-inch. But that's a cut down from 12 inches. So if I buy a true 11-inch prop, it's probably going to be much less power. In addition to that, so I'm looking about roughly 20 amps with a Axie, which is a much bigger motor.
How many RPM were you turning that at?
I'm sorry?
How many RPM were you turning the prop?
I didn't check it.
Oh,
I don't have a tachometer. I just maxed out the RPM with a just to see how was the maximum current draw I'm gonna experience. So I know that's the maximum it will ever encounter in the air, and the biggest ESC I will have to basically use.
yeah, because that's that that Cobra motor. It's a 9-something kV, and I'm getting about 22 amps.
Well, guys, I'll see you from Dayton.
Okay, have a good
All
night.
right.
All right, we bore Sparky to death.
See ya.
See you later, Sparky.
See you.
Good night.
Sparky. Sparky heard the word electric. We start to talk electric. People fall asleep. It's just a nightmare.
Yeah, I think me and Rich were both sitting here with our eyes closed the other night.
Yeah.
Nah.
Hey, Josh, I posted a link up there for you if you're still with us. If you logged into the Stunthangar control line forums, then you can access that link, and that's where you go to click into this video. So let me know if you have any trouble with that.
Well, there shouldn't be anything to really talk about on IC motors. They've been around for 60 years. What more can you know about them?
I don't know. We've had some pretty good discussions on here about them before, but I don't. You know, it's all right. We got to learn about electrics too. There's plenty to know about IC motors.
You know what else I did interesting on this plane here? The tip weight box. Actually, I don't have a tip weight box. What I did right here, inside the wing tip, I have a block of aluminum, you know, and I put it on a scale. It's about 5/8, half an ounce, a little bit over half an ounce. And I glued it on inside. And in the center of the block, it's a 440 threaded hole. So that's why I have a little hole here.
Yeah.
On the side. So if I need to add a little extra weight, I just put a screw through this with a washer on the outside and code my adjustable weight box.
Yeah, that's right.
Neat idea. That'll
If,
work.
if the thing already weighs a half an ounce, then you're almost there anyway.
Yeah, I just need to fine tune it from there on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Another thing I've done different on this twister, you see the shear webs?
Yeah.
Hang on.
Yeah.
let me click you.
I added that.
Yeah.
And also I've added a strip of the carbon fiber here.
Ah, see, you did, didn't you? Yeah.
You see that?
Yeah.
And that's it. That's the only other
Yeah.
modification I've done to this wing. And I put the lead outs in it, obviously.
How thick is that strip of carbon fiber?
3,000-4,000 stick, if that.
Okay, so it's like a piece of fabric, or
It's the unidirectional, I'm guessing,
yeah,
right?
that's right, yeah,
Yeah.
or amorphous, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the right word to use or not, but unidirectional, yeah, same thing.
Yeah, basically that's what
Oh,
we
yeah.
did with Samantha's too. I put weight in the wing and then we just screwed a piece of 1/4 inch lead on the outside of it and then trim the lead down to where you want it. And we're done. So
Yeah, that's an incredible amount of reinforcement once the epoxy's in the weave, and
And it's not even epoxied. It's not epoxied at all. I just use CA on it.
oh, okay, yeah,
But this is how it comes out in a sheet about like this. You see, this doesn't have, it has some kind of a binder in it, but you don't have any threads in it.
yeah.
This is very nice material.
yeah, you have to post where we can get that at.
I think you told us the other night, didn't you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I told you all the time, easy composites. Here,
Which composites?
easy composites.
Okay.
And if you guys have like a club or something like that, get together and buy like 2-3 meters of this stuff together, pay for the shipping one time, and just call it a day.
Except right now I have nobody close to me that flies or does anything.
It's $15 a square meter. I mean, it's gonna last you forever.
Yeah, it's worth the money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to have a roll of that. I've got plenty of veil, but I'm not finding that quite as useful as I hoped I would. I've used it on flaps, stuff like that, but
On the flaps, what I would use, I'll use a tube in the front. From Aloft Hobbies, they have some super lightweight tubes over there, and if you just glue them in the front of on the leading edge of your flaps, I mean, you're gonna have the stiffest flaps ever.
yeah,
And it's pretty light. I mean, you're talking about 10 grams a meter or something like that.
hmm
So, and that opens the door to have a flaps that's not a solid sheet of balsa. You can just build it up.
Yeah.
Make a build-up flaps with ribs and stuff like that.
yeah.
All right, again, here's your link to Easy Composites. You just click on that, order it, and call it a day. That's it.
Okay.
Got it.
And 15 liras is just about $15. You know, the $16 a square meter, and you can reinforce anything with it. And this is super thin stuff. What I done on mine, I just used the 3M77, just very lightly spray it on it, and just place it wherever you need it. And then with thin CA, it's gonna wake right through it, and that's what I did here. Just thin CA it in place. That's it. And you don't need it. You know, the epoxy is in a composite matrix is just to hold the fibers together, so you can hold the fibers together with anything you want to. But for reinforcement on wood directly, thin CA, best. It takes 2 seconds. It took me 2 minutes to add a.
Yeah, I had to repair a spar on my Oriental one time and twisted up some carbon tow, which was like string, and patched it into the broken spar for about 4 inches on each side, and used CA just to turn it into basically a rod, and it turned it into a solid rod of carbon and worked great.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. Well, looks like I have my first panel done already. Hey, this is a productive.
Productive for you anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, productive here too.
I'm not doing anything right now.
It's better than just sitting down and
over to even work on anything. Okay.
I'm gonna leave and I'm gonna go to Chicago to make my this year's plane, and I'm gonna go there for a week to build it.
Yeah.
I guess I'm gonna beat Sparky on this one. A plane in a week.
Good luck.
Yeah, that's the cool part of it. It's like you spend a lot of time before that, but once you get it done, man, you set.
You know what you need to do is match your son's airplane for design. Do the same thing on the fuselage and do a checkerboard. You could use your own colors, but that'd be pretty cool. Both of you guys have the same basic paint scheme on an airplane. I like the fuselage on that.
You do?
Oh yeah.
You know, as I gave Chris Rod a little article I write about, you know, how to plan a paint job, basically. And it's pretty simple, you know, just the way I say, you know, it's my take on planning how to make a paint job. But pretty much where you want to start on your fuselage. Stripes, whatever you choose to do in your fuselage, and try to copy it and put it on the wings now. And from the wings, you copy it and put it in an elevator. Now, if you have curvy lines and stuff like that, also use a font like that, like a script or something like that. If you have straight corners and stuff like that, then use like an Arial kind of font, which has also sharp corners, stuff like that. And it doesn't have to be complicated. I've seen some paint jobs that are absolutely brilliant and absolutely beautiful, and they're simple. You know, all they had is just like a zigzag, like a arrowhead. You know, like a hook kind of thing, right? Yeah. And they did the same thing on a wing. They did the same thing on the elevator, same thing on the fuselage. Simple colors. I think one of them was two tones of green with a gold edge on the trim job. Simple. That was beautiful. I mean, it's just like, it doesn't have to be complicated. And as for panel lines, if you look on a book of aviation, how the panel lines are, if it make sense, I mean, just the more panel lines you put, probably the sillier is going to start to look.
Yeah.
You want to make it make sense. You know, it's like the typical wing has a main sheet on a wing and maybe some panels on the wing itself, and then you have a leading edge and you have a trailing edge, and maybe you have some hatches here and there to whatever, some fuel caps and stuff like that. If it makes sense, it's good to go. Now, if you put screws on corner of each panel that you put over there, it starts to look silly. I mean, it's like, you look at it. Are you telling me like this plane was built so you can remove every single panel of the wing?
Yeah, that don't.
I mean, it doesn't add
make
up,
any
right?
sense.
So, so that's those things to look for. Just simple stuff. It's not a rocket science, But if you follow this super simple, logic to it, start with the fuselage, make yourself a paint job, And even Rich has like a simple example. It has like a simple fuselage, one color, put the daggers on it, right? The wings are kind of the same thing with the daggers on it. The elevator, kind of plain, but it looks good, I think it would be too much daggers if you put it on the elevator, but it looks good, And he flip-flop the colors. That's simple. That's just straightforward, and it just looks good, So I'm trying to keep him awake. Just falling asleep.
Oh,
Yeah, a buddy of mine did a quarter scale P-51 Mustang, and he's got some kind of aluminum that was like almost like aluminum foil, and put that over the whole wing, and then took and actually made rivets, glue, and then he had them. It looked so cool, but it matched every panel that was on a full scale P-51. But it took him like 4 years to build it.
Yeah. Yeah, that kind of work is a lot of work.
Yes, yeah, but I'm not talking about that, Steve. I'm talking about like, if you do scale, then you follow anything that's on a scale. If it's on a plane, you put it on your plane, and there's no discussion over there. But I'm talking about like a general, vector,
Just aesthetic.
impact, stuff like that. Just typical, non-scale aircraft. As soon as you go scale, then it's a different rule, right? But if it's non-scale, this is just perhaps the easiest way to plan a nice paint job on anything, right? And another thing I kind of liked, some people, somebody made a Junar. I'm not sure who, but what they did is like if the fuselage was just simple, like 3 stripes, they climb up on the rudder, right, with the soft corner, right?
Yeah.
And they had the same 3 stripes riding on the wings, the same 3 stripes riding on the elevator. But what he did, because on the fuselage at the root where the wing was white, he continued that white on the wing, right? But on the elevator, because I think was red in that area, he continued with the red at the base. So he kind of flip-flopped the colors, like was on one side it was red, it was red, black, white. On the other one was white, black, red. Kind of flip-flop it. But then it blended in nicely on the fuselage side because those fuselage was that color in that spot. And it looked absolutely beautiful. And that was it. I all had like these 3 stripes that just went on one side, the same 3 stripes on the fuselage and the elevator. And if you find that picture and you look at it, it's just gorgeous, And all you do after that, just put the name, put some stencils, with a name, whatever, and call it a day. Some panelize and you're done. I mean, just simple. Doesn't have to be complicated. And some of those paint jobs are just absolutely stunning to look at. And why they're beautiful? Because our human eye loves patterns, likes to see patterns, right? So if you see something on one corner of the plane, probably you only see it on the other side. If you have the wingtips that sweep back in a certain direction, you probably want to see the elevator and the rudder sweeping kind of like the same way. And if you look at the Spitfire, the pointy wingtips and the pointy elevator and the pointy rudder, kind of follow suit, right? It's nice aerodynamic, but it's also nice to look at, right? So we look at patterns. If you have something on one side of the plane, you should be able to find it somewhere else, right? That's why you kind of do the wing, copy it on a elevator. That's why you do the fuselage, kind of copy it on the wing, or the vice versa. It doesn't matter, you know. You can make the wing and copy it on a fuselage, but from my experience, I found out that it's much harder to do something on a wing and transpose it on a fuselage. It's a whole lot easier to do it the other way around.
Yeah.
Well, a friend of mine said, you know, in pattern, everybody puts stripes on the side of the airplane and put like red wing tips and stuff like that, so they could see if the wings were level when they were flying. And he said, just remember, if you can see that the wings aren't level, the judges can see that the wings aren't level. You want your designs to go the opposite direction. So no matter how the wing is to the fuselage, if it's out of whack a little bit, it looks straight to everybody. He says you need to be able to tell how it flies if it's level or not. And we never could figure out why his paint jobs are so much different than everybody else's. He's like, if you can make it so you can see it, the judges can see it.
Well, that's another thing, yes. But it's also a matter of personal preference and what do you like. And if you want to do curved lines, fine. Just do the same. Do curvy lines on the fuselage, then do curvy lines on the wings, and do curvy lines over everywhere else, you know. And then on your font, you look some curvy line kind of font, like a script or something like that. And that looks beautiful. Put some panel lines on it and call it a day, you know. Curvy lines, if that's what you like, you want to put it on, just put them on, you know.
I usually make my letters and numbers with Microsoft Publisher, but then put them on decal paper, and you got some pretty good fonts from that. If you can find a laser printer, it helps because the inkjet printer seems to fade, but the laserjet printer does not fade near as quick in the sun.
Yeah.
Well,
hey guys, I'm gonna mute my
a painting on a wall. Anything with straight lines, your eye will pick up if it's not straight.
Yeah.
All right, Ryan.
If you had curvy stuff, you know, or whatever, it made it tougher to tell. But that was just his theory. But he made it to the Tournament of Champions and stuff like that, so he was a good flyer besides how he painted his airplanes.
Yeah, every little advantage you can get when you're at that level.
Yeah. Yeah, one day it won't matter. We'll have artificial intelligence judging at these contests, and then
I don't look forward to that day.
I don't quite see that coming.
I do, just for the reason is that like the world championships and stuff like that, people spend so much money on it, and then they bitch about this judge judged me high and this one did low and all this, and they bitch about the judging. If you had a computer judging it, scores would go way the hell down, but they'd all be the same.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't, because that computer don't know who you are or whatever. But they said back in the old days when they were done by the Navy and stuff, and there was Navy judges and stuff, that people won who you'd never think would have won. Because they thought, you know, they flew better or whatever.
If you want to see an interesting article about that whole thing from years ago, I think I got the article years ago for the Kostecki Talon, and he goes into that whole thing about dressing the right way and everything else for the Navy judges.
What are y'all talking about with Navy judges?
Prior to, what was it, 73, the Navy judged the Nats.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Navy put it on. They sponsored it.
Yeah, they sponsored the Nats.
Oh. Is that back when everybody used to dress in white?
Yep. Among other things, yes.
Everybody had their fancy suits.
Yeah. Okay. I did not know that that was Navy. So they had guys that were trained up to judge that weren't necessarily control line pilots at all.
Correct.
No, they were naval pilots.
Right. But but still not a control line pilot, but
No.
trained up to judge the pattern.
Oh, looks nice.
Train's got his, let me click on him so the tubers can see it. It's nice and tight now.
Yeah.
Looks good.
I think that wing panel will have more lift than the other one, though.
Yeah, that is right, Steve. You're
Am I right? At least I got something
spot on there, Steve.
Oh my.
I don't ever use a heat gun. I just do everything with the iron. Once in a rare while, I'll use the heat gun if I want to take a twist out. But other than that, I do everything with the iron when I'm applying it for the initial coat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Maybe a little touch up here and there, yes.
With wing tips that you got to pull the material. I can put a little bit of heat to it with the gun wider and script it over a bigger area. But yeah, I usually just use the iron.
Yeah.
Push it on.
It depends. I mean, everybody's got different skill sets, and I'm good with iron, so works for me.
Yeah, he always had like a hot glove or something, and he'd use the heat gun and then press it down on the ribs and stuff like that to for stick. I don't know if it did anything, but
when I'm using the iron, after I've got it all secured, and then I go to shrink it between the rib bays, I can watch the color change with the iron and tell if I'm on the right temperature or not, and how fast to go, whether I need to speed up or slow down.
yeah, I screwed up on that damn vector. I was tightening the stars up because they were loose and stuff like that. And I got that same heat gun he's got. Somehow I bumped the damn temperature deal. And I set it down, I moved the wing, and I went back and I set it on that damn monocoat and it shrank it back past the whole place. I'm like, shit. But yeah, something to it.
Yeah, when I'm using monocoat, I use almost maximum temperature all the time anyway. Pretty close to the top. Now he's got to get all those checkers to match.
Country city ones, these things will get hot. I mean, it goes up to like 400 degrees or something. I mean, or 200 degrees. It's freaking hot. What does this say? I can't read the damn.
My iron doesn't have a temperature gauge on it. It just has numbers 1 through 0 through 9. But I got a little gun I can shoot at it. I've never done it to see how hot it reads.
Yeah, that's 380 degrees. This thing will really get hot.
And you know, every roll's different too.
Is that the first time you ever used China coat?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay. Because I love the stuff. Dick got me using it. It works the nicest, I think, of any of them.
Yeah. I think it's great, especially if you're like a beginner flyer and you learn how to fly. It's no sense in doing like any kind of stuff like that, going crazy or not.
Repairs are simple and it's just easy. It's too easy not to use.
Well, it's so much lighter than paint. I mean, if you can't get super light wood and all that, and your wood's a little bit heavier, shit, you can knock off 4 or 5 ounces on paint easy.
Yeah. That stuff is low temp.
Yeah. Well, one
Heat it all to shrink it.
about this China coat is that that one airplane that Dick did for Samantha, that was never tightened for 3 years. And we came back from Brodak, and I left the damn thing in the back of my truck. And I got to like 98 degrees. I was in there for 3 days, and it actually, I had to retighten the covering. But besides that, once you set it with heat, it doesn't wrinkle and like Monaco does, or oh, I can't think of the other one from Horizon. Ultra Coat, yeah. Because the other one I always used to like was Econo Coat. I thought that was it. That and stuff, but I think this is even better than Econo Coat. But I got one of them ARF. Shit, I can't think now. The most famous every other been designed from that. I can't think of what it is, but I don't give a shit where you set that airplane. That covering will loosen. You got to retighten it all the time.
The Brodak covering?
Huh?
The Brodak covering?
Yeah, so the old Brodak would do it, but this was that top flight Nobler. That is the worst covering of any airplane I've ever had. It doesn't separate off the color, but it damn sure won't stay tight.
Even my monocoat, I have to tighten it after it's been out in the sun a little bit.
Yeah,
I was out there a couple weeks ago.
You don't have
and my friend did in the Brodak covering. Man, it's loose as loose can be right now.
Yeah, he can't even hardly give that stuff away now.
Yeah, that's when I got it. Was a 2-for-1 sale.
Yep. I had one you couldn't get the backing off it.
So I'm not sure if you can see this.
I got it presenting to everyone now.
Got the squares lined up.
So what I'm doing, I'm just putting a little bit of white here. So it sits on the main spar. And it's also, I got some support here from this parallel. So now I'm just going to gently pull the monocoat all the way back. Nice and straight, as straight as I can anyways. And I'm just going to...
space so you can glue it to the fuselage?
Yes, I did. And I also matched the leading edge. So it's symmetric. You know?
Blue, white squares and that up.
Yeah. Because my stuff has to match. I'm going nuts here. So it's a little bit slippery. I have to check it out, make sure that's still in position.
And about checkerboard is graphics don't show up on it.
Oh, your numbers and stuff?
Yeah, they disappear like camouflage.
So right now it should be pretty straight. And I'm just hitting the trailing edge. I'm not going flat on the wood. I'm going on right on the edge here, kind of like this. That's all I'm doing because I don't want to shrink it. I just want to lock it in place for now. And
Alrighty, fellas, I got a full fly in the morning, so I got this wing all epoxied in and all that, so I'm going to bed.
Okay.
Hey, man.
Take it easy.
Thanks for visiting with us.
So what I'm gonna do now, I'm just gonna take this straight edge, I'm gonna cut the trailing edge. Hopefully I get it right. I usually do. So here we go. All right, where's my microphone cable? I don't want to cut that.
Yeah.
And now I'm gonna just fold this over,
Yeah.
and this is gonna be in place now.
Yeah, you got the technique pretty good there, Troy.
So right now I'm kind of following on the edge, and then I lock in the whole trailing edge. I just really want to have this down here. I don't care about the middle or something like that, but this one I want to have it finished. It's all finished now. And what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna go on the opposite side, fold this over, and I'm gonna support the trailing edge again because I want to be nice and straight as possible. I'm gonna put my weight on top of it.
Yeah, one thing about doing it in a full, all the way around, you don't have that try to match up.
Yeah, usually I
the-
do each of the four sides, each of the four panels separately. I do tried wrapping the whole thing like that, but
That makes perfect sense, but this is a twister wing that doesn't have any
yeah,
of that.
it's just a straight, completely square wing, so easy to do on this one.
So now all this block of wood here, what it does, it just pushes the wing nice and flat on the table. Now on my trailing edge is nice and flat, so I have no twist in it.
Yep.
And I gently pull this back, and you can just just patient a little bit, and this
Did
way.
you the squares over the leading edge? So
Yes.
so-
That's the first thing I did.
yeah, I figured you probably did by wrapping it. Oh, okay, yeah. And then
You can get, yeah.
the trailing edge comes out where it comes out. If it's a partial square or
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, I match this, and I also match the center.
Oh, okay.
So good enough. He's gonna crash it probably on the first few flights, so I don't want to spend that much time on it. So, I had something I wanted to do here. What did I want to do? Okay, stick it. Yeah. What happened? Some of this is just too long. I'm gonna trim it off now. I just noticed that. I'm gonna trim all the excess off because I don't want to mess up with it from the other side.
Oh, when you wrap it and lock it down.
Yeah. So if I'm running my fingers over it, it's just here anyways. So yeah, I'm trying to use this session of having fun talking to you guys and being productive a little bit, get something done. And tomorrow I'm gonna have Alex help with with the elevator, with the flaps and the other stuff, which is a lot easier. So he participates in something.
Are you gonna do checkerboard flaps then too?
I really don't want to. I would like to have them plain white or some different color or something like that. But he wants checker everywhere, so.
Hey, Al Ferraro just joined us.
The match it's a little bit difficult to make on the board from the trailing edge to the.
That's what they see.
The beginning of the flat, but
A little bit bigger. But they're looking at
Who are we looking at through Al's window? There's Al. Hey, how you doing, Al?
How you doing, Rusty?
Pretty good. What's going on?
I'm using I'm building the half A ships.
Man, this halfway is just picking up big time on at Brodax.
That's what I've been working on in my shop.
Everybody's halfwaying.
I've been working on my Hyper Viper.
Yeah, so I'm over my friend's house, and you know, that's where we've been building these things.
You got a friend?
Yeah, he does. Hey, there he is.
Yeah, that's
There he is. Improving.
Man, it didn't take long to take a shot at that one.
how much does he pay you to be his friend?
Jesus.
Jeez, Steve.
Y'all are hilarious.
We'll show you our progress.
Okay.
Yeah, let's see what you got. Let me.
I won't pick on you anymore.
You can pick on me. That's fine.
I got you presented to everyone now.
Okay. Where's the other one? Put them both up here. This is the one that Jim, that's yours. That's mine. See the juice.
Holy shit, that's pretty damn fancy for.
Yeah.
It's a Cafe Mirage.
Wow.
And
Yeah,
then,
that's pretty.
Sleek.
you
It's
know,
pretty sleek looking fuselage.
Yeah.
the ailerons and the elevators and the stabilizer. They're all got silk span with epoxy on them, drying. We got the wings are drying, but yeah, it's you know,
Are you gonna paint them or are you gonna?
now they're going to be painted.
Wow.
But spending about 5 hours every night trying to finish them up before Brodout.
You gonna paint the wings too, or are you gonna monocoat the wings?
No, wings are going to be painted.
It's quite a nice effort there, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll bring them down.
You're going for a 20-pointer, huh?
Yeah. Well, I can't fly a good pattern, so I got to make up some points somewhere.
Oh, there he went. Oh, there he comes back. Okay.
There he's back.
I'm just trying to switch the camera around.
Yeah.
Okay. See my
Oh no, switch the camera to the other side now.
What's that?
Switch the camera to the other side.
Yeah.
We like the view better.
Yeah, okay. Hey, I got an IM message from Samantha, Steve,
Yeah.
and I got to switch it around and sent me some kind of video, like a video thing, to open, and I said, it just doesn't seem right, and I tried it, wouldn't open, and I texted her back. I didn't, I IM'd her back, and I guess her IM got hacked.
Yeah, her whole account got hacked and called me and said, "Don't open it." Someone, told me that, I got hacked. Maybe it was you. And it's like, well, hell, I didn't. I was working, so I didn't get a chance to look at my phone anyway.
Yeah, that was me. I told her to change her password.
Yeah, so she sent it back out to everybody not to open it.
Right.
But I guess some people tried to open it and couldn't, but
yeah,
I'm not 100% sure what happened, but
yeah, it said it had like the red YouTube arrow, and it said, "Is this you?" So went to hit it, it didn't open. It said, I IM'd her back. I said, it doesn't open. And then she says, "Oh, I didn't send that." So.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, I cleared it out. I changed my password. So, and then, I looked on Facebook, and I don't know. It said like I had 10 devices open, and I closed them all. And then one was left somewhere.
Yeah, and I don't know. I tried to erase that or delete it off of that message board, and it wouldn't let me delete it. There should be a way that you can delete that stuff.
Yeah. So Well, anyway,
under there. She just told me not to open it, but
yeah. So you got it too then.
yeah, I got it. I just didn't open it, but I wanted to delete it out of my messenger, but it won't let me.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's still in mine too, but anyway. But this is the wing. It's a foam core. And we got the belt cranks mounted inside.
Wow.
You know, here's
That's
the,
definitely a full-blown stunner.
yes. Yeah. It's,
Yep.
Yeah, nice looking work.
What do you think?
Somebody got if y'all got a YouTube page open in the background, I keep hearing myself repeat a second later.
do I have a you asking me?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Hmm.
I have it on speaker.
It's just our crazy chatter, I guess.
So when is the planned first flight on that, Al?
When?
Yeah.
When it's done.
Next, yeah, Saturday.
Next Saturday?
Yeah. Hopefully, yeah. But
I'm fading, guys. I'm getting kind of tired. I'll catch you Monday, hopefully.
let me see. Where's the,
All right.
I'm trying
All right,
to.
man.
Have a good one.
You
Take
too.
it
Have a
easy.
good one, man.
There's the. Yeah, that's the
So you got your push rod coming up there.
landing gear.
Wow, landing gear blocks.
Yep, blocks. Yep. Yeah.
Man, you spare in no details. That's nice looking work.
It's a lot of sanding.
You really tried to keep it simple, didn't you?
Yeah. But we got the engine running. I got the engine running real good. So here, show them the bladder compartment. Oh, yes.
Oh,
Bladder. Oh, we can't. Yeah.
So what engine you
Well, we can,
going to be running?
Big MiG.
Okay.
Well, we show the bladder. We just can't put it in because we just fuel proof the. We just fuel proof the. That.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. We're pick it in. Just to show them. See, that's where the engine goes, and then
Yeah.
the bladder is going to sit right there. That's going to be recessed in.
Perfect.
Oh, that'll be nice.
Inside, and then I can't. Let me see it. Oh, and then I don't know if you can see it, but that's the hole for the bladder to go through, come out the fuel line.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, we can see.
yeah, the slot in there.
Yeah, see the round hole. The slot is for the front and the nose gear.
Oh, okay. Oh, I can see it now. Yep.
Yeah, the holes for the bladder.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, but yeah, no, I got the engine. The engines are all set and ready to go because I had to get the engine tuned up because we're coming down to the wire with this building it. So I got the powertrain all set.
So you got as much time and effort in this as a 60 size ship, huh?
I couldn't hear you. Say it again.
I said you got as much time and effort in this as a 60 size ship.
Yeah. Well, pretty much so. And then see the hole for the tip weight.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Has a fly nut in there and just gonna bolt in tip weight with a 440 bolt. An adjustable slider.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What a pain in the neck to get them wires through that hole. It's like there's so little.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because that wire is so small.
Yeah. The thin wire.
Is that fiberglass or is that silk span?
Well, it's foam core covered with silk span.
Oh, okay. That's a piece of wax paper under there.
Right there. That's where we joined the wings.
No, underneath the foam is there a piece of wax paper on the table. I thought that was a cut piece of.
Oh yeah. No, that's because we just glued that. That's the wax paper.
It almost in the picture looks like fiberglass, like
Yeah,
Brown's fiberglass cloth,
yeah.
where it shines like that.
Well, there's silk span, and he used that resin. This stuff. Oh, yeah, easy coat. Easy coat.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Put it on and sanded it all off, and so
It's pretty light.
yeah.
The whole thing the wing weighs about 4 ounces
Wow.
with what do you call it, with the silk span on it. So
What I want to say, guys, is that I built a while ago. I built a something similar to what you guys doing here, full body fuselage. Mine was an I-beam wing, half a plane with a big MiG. It was a Norvello 49,
Right.
and I used a regular fuel tank that I soldered together. Just kind of similar to the one they have on a full size stunt ship,
Okay.
and that motor run beautiful like that. If you have a solid nose, you're not gonna have a problem, and especially if you use a smaller prop, because those engines don't like a big prop on them. They like a 5-inch prop or
That's
so.
right. They like to spin up fast.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I have that the combination all done. I have the engine set up in a half-A Pathfinder, and I finally had a decent day last Sunday to again test fly, longer lines and stuff. And again, I was able to do the pattern, no problem. Everything was working good. So
Yeah.
So I got the power, the engine powered combination down real good. So
Now, have you done both sides of your flaps and elevators and stuff? Or
Yeah.
just one side?
no, we did both sides at once. He's asking if we epoxy both sides of the flaps and elevator. Yeah. Yeah, we did
Epoxy,
both
or did you put easy coat on there?
epoxy.
Oh, okay. Because I did a wing like that with the easy coat, and it worked the shit out of flaps and elevator.
Right.
yeah, you have to put epoxy on first.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, then you put the easy coat on later. You have to seal the wood, otherwise it warps.
Oh, okay. Yep. And I found that out after the fact. And I'm like, damn.
Yes, ask me how I know that.
How do you know that?
Yeah. Yeah.
But it worked fine, because I did the foam cord wing, put it all on there, and that was beautiful.
Yeah.
It didn't warp nothing. I stuck it on the flat wood, and it was like I had lasagna noodles.
Yeah, no, you got to seal the wood first, then the easy coat works good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I figure I'd show you guys what we're up to over here.
What thickness is that sheeting? Is that 32nd or is that 16th? Or
What's that?
I didn't hear you, Rusty. Say it again.
what thickness is that sheeting on the wing?
32nd.
32nd. Okay.
Yeah.
That's my guess. Nice work.
Yeah. Looks really good.
Yeah, we'll see how the paint comes out. Should be all right though.
You gonna just do dope, or you doing rattle can, or?
No, I use a Duplicolor paint shop paint.
Oh, okay.
The acrylic lacquer. Is that?
It's lacquer. It works really
Yeah.
well.
I've used the rattle can version of that, and I liked it a lot. It was a lot like dope.
Yeah, but I think the quart cans are a different formulation than the rattle cans.
Yeah, I bet they probably are.
Yeah, the quart cans. I have no problem with compatibility. I actually thin it with stick thinner.
Yeah.
It works really well. Then you can coat it with the Sig Clear or automotive. We're gonna do the clear one. Sig Clear.
Sig Clear, or we're going to use my automotive?
Well, we decide.
Yeah, that's
Depends
still up
on
in
the
the air.
paint is. We have to dry it out first. Let it gas off before we put the clear on it.
Yeah.
So, is Trayan still there?
Yeah, Trent. Monaco.
Trayan, you come to Brodak?
He's got his mic muted. Here,
No, I'm not coming.
Coming out.
Yeah, I don't have enough vacation for that. I'll be at the Nats.
Yeah. Okay, I'll be there. We talked man.
What?
We've talked a number of times. You remember?
Yes.
The pot stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just looking at your plane right now, and I was so just I'm constantly thinking like, hey man, you could just make something super nice over there for a half A.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, they're looking good.
Guys, I'm gonna mute it again because I want to shrink this thing. I don't want you to have too much noise or.
Much
that
width.
okay?
Are you gonna shrink it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, catch you guys later. We got to sign off. We got to finish
All
up.
right.
Okay.
You got a friend.
Thanks for the show and tell. I appreciate it. That was good.
Okay.
Take
Have a
it
good night, guys.
Yeah, bro.
Good night.
Okay.
Yeah, be there.
And there they go.
Yeah. Everybody's gone.
Down to the diehards now. Not even 12 o'clock yet.
I haven't seen Mike. I haven't seen Mike on for a week or so.
Yeah.
All right.
He hasn't been on, and I haven't seen Charles.
That Charles comes and goes. They're busy. I guess Charles probably is going and doing stuff. He's a pretty busy guy. So I don't know what he's got going on though. I hadn't talked to him much lately, but Mike, I don't know. He might have got burned out. We've been talking about electrics a lot, and I don't think he cares about talking about electric stuff. And also, maybe he's taking a break. People
And stuff.
take a break and come back. He must have showed and told us just about everything he's got in his shop at least 4 times. So,
I was kind of wondering how that tank worked out that he built, he redid, but he may not have got. The weather's been so damn bad across the damn Midwest and stuff like that he may not even have time to fly.
Yeah, weather's been so bad.
yeah, I don't know what the weather in Tennessee has been like, whether Mike and them have had good flying weather or not.
So you got your dagger ready to go for the weekend if we get weather?
Yep. Got it all put back together since I lawn darted it. Took it apart and got the controls straightened out, so it flies like it should.
I've got a Mike update. Will Davis just texted me and said Mike's in Michigan on family vacation.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I remember he was coming up to Michigan.
Thanks, Will. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I forgot about that. He was come up visit his mom for a weekend.
Yeah. Okay. I thought maybe he got burned out on us, which could be too. I wouldn't blame anybody for just having enough and having to take a break sometimes.
I forgot about that. I'd have brought him some airplanes over there. You can take back.
Yeah, usually at Brodak, he's got so much crap in the truck, he ain't got no room to fit anything else when he goes back.
I got that 25 size. Oh shit! I can't think of what it is though. I showed it on here.
Oh yeah.
That 25 size Cardinal and stuff like that. I could have ran that over to him and he can take it back with him. But oh well.
Yeah.
Maybe get it to Brodak and stuff and see how it goes.
Yeah, I've been working on that Vector 40. I got all the parts done. I got to put the wing cap, strip the wing, and put the wing tips on it and start assembling. Fuse is done, tail feathers are done, everything's pieces are laying everywhere.
Oh, and the damn wingtips, that's pain in the ass.
Yeah. Got everything hollowed out on the fuse. There ain't much wood left in those blocks, top cover blocks.
Yeah, I end up, the last one I did, I had saved pieces off of that sticky sandpaper that
Yeah.
different sizes. And after I got it carved so far down, I took 80 grit and sanded inside there and then made little bulkheads and glued back in it.
Oh yeah.
Carve it with the bulkheads, and I'm like, nah, that's bullshit. That was too hard.
I was digging through all that stuff I got from Pat Beacom, and there was a cutter for the Dremel tool. It almost looks like one of them brass filters for a fuel tank, only it's real coarse and it's about a 1/2 inch in diameter. Boy, does that thing rip wood out, and it doesn't grab or bite.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, it's just slick.
So is it a carbide one or a?
Oh, look, it's brass. It looks like brass.
Yeah, anything doesn't matter for wood, I guess. Anything.
It's I don't know what whether it's chunks of carbon or who knows what the hell it is. Yeah. But you can just finesse it so easy.
Oh, that's one of them permagrit.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, them things work great. I lost mine.
Yeah, there was one of that stuff from Pat. I'd seen that. I said, let me try that. Man, that's like beautiful.
Yeah, I had the drum one. Like the little drum, like the sanding drums that you get from Dremel. I loved that thing, and I lost it, and I have no idea, but I lose everything.
I've got a spoon that looks like a sanding drum. Is that what you're talking about, Steve?
Yeah, it's like a rubber thing, and you slip on these little sandpaper roll things.
Yeah, right.
Well,
oh yeah, I've got that.
Yeah, this one was made up of it looks like a filter or whatever. It had like little pieces all soldered on or welded on or whatever. Yeah. And that thing worked really good. It was permagrit. I paid big money for it. All their stuff is so expensive, but it never dulls. It's made of carbide or diamond or something.
Yeah. The main thing is it doesn't bite and grab and catch,
Yeah, it's so sharp that it just
spits balsa wood everywhere.
Yeah. So y'all done with the wing now?
Pardon?
I was talking to Tryon. If he's all done with the wing.
Yes, I am done.
Huh.
Oh, good.
Now, did you remember the tighten the nut holding your bell crank in place? And
this is the point where you go, did I do that? Did I remember that?
Yeah, I always have a rush of that right after I finish gluing the center sheeting down. Did I do this? Did I adjust that? So.
Yeah, I just messed something in here because I really don't like the way it looks. I think it shrank too hard. Something's wrong here. I might have to replace this panel.
No, you don't. That's where you take some other colored monocoat and make a decorative stripe, like maybe a chrome stripe or something on the edge. Just cover up the boo-boo.
Or his name, put his name on it.
Yeah. That Chinese monocoat's got a really high stretch. You overheat it, it'll shrink and bend everything.
Yeah, I think that's what, yeah, it did over shrink a little bit. Yeah.
Over shrink it because it'll really pull.
I wouldn't try to fix it. I'd just try to hide it.
Yeah.
What battery you got in there right now?
In it?
Yeah, it looks like you got a battery in the front end of the airplane.
Yeah, I think this is a 2800 5S in it.
That answers Jack Snavely's question from about 2 hours ago. He said, what kind of fuel tank have you got in it? Smart Alec.
Fuel tank.
I think that was Jack. Maybe that was Jeff. I forget which one. I'm asking you what kind of fuel tank was in it. That might have been Jeff Riley,
Yeah.
one of our local smart asses.
Yeah. So what I'm shooting here is for a solid trainer.
Yeah, it'll work good.
Something that's not going to change in time. Something that's going to be consistent and is going to, famous last words. Let's hope it's going to be fine.
More than likely there'll be other wrinkles in that covering before long anyway.
Yeah. I'm so tempted to change it all right now.
Oh, no.
I hate shit work.
You can't you can't put something over it or do something to hide it.
Top or the bottom?
The top or the bottom.
The problem is that it's in this area, right in a corner, and yeah.
Bottom wing?
Is it the bottom of the wing or the top?
Top.
Oh, yeah.
Of course it's the top.
It is.
Well, you can see how Dick did it. Says dagger there, angle on his. Maybe you can do something on an angle over it.
Okay. It's an idea. Actually, it's not gonna look too bad.
Oh, not at all. Not bad at all.
Yeah. Not exactly my philosophy. I was going to make the wing plain white and just put some green stripes on it if I was making it like that.
What kind of glue are you going to secure that wing with?
Epoxy. I use epoxy for that.
That's what I always use too.
It's nice.
And another thing I've done in the fuselage here, it actually has a aluminum insert in here. In here.
Oh, for the gear?
Yeah, there's a tube inside with an aluminum insert.
Yeah.
So it doesn't want to go back in time or something like that. I just try to make a little bit of improvements here and there.
Yeah, I always put like a brass piece of tube through it, and then.
Yeah, even the brass piece of tubing is gonna bend if it's because that tubing is so thin. So yeah, but what I used is just a little bit, maybe a tiny bit better quality. Not a whole lot, but just a little bit.
Yeah, usually when my legs bend, that's my legs worry. When it rips the brass tube out and stuff, usually a lot of other damage that happen along the way.
And I even remember when I drilled this holes, I think I did it at work. Make sure they are in the right position.
Oh yeah.
Drill press. I really went bananas on this one. There you go. Oh, and the holes actually aligned. Just very nicely actually here. I lost some parts from the plane anyways. And what I'm doing right now, I had to go to the hobby store and buy a new part, like this leg holders. But it seems to be a lot stiffer right now. they're definitely a heavier duty component.
Oh,
See how much?
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's a lot thicker and bulkier, and it comes with the screws that
Go all the way through.
and have a Phillips head to them.
Oh,
Yeah.
See that?
yeah.
Just a little better. And you know, I was kind of glad that I did it after all. Yeah.
Yeah, I even used through bolts all the way through them. Drill it on.
Yeah, that's what I've done before too. Is I embedded the little U clamp and used through bolts to go all the way through.
I do have some 256 for that too, yes. But for now, it seems to work fine.
You know, a lot of times when you make it too strong and they hit hard, stuff breaks. You know, or that little plastic piece rips out. It's an easy repair or whatever over ripping a big hunk of the fuselage out when the through bolts rip right down through it.
Yeah, hopefully we're not going to have that, but who am I kidding? I'm kidding myself.
I mean, for a first airplane, yeah, it's like, you know, I forget how many times I fixed Samantha's first airplane. Luckily, it never hurt the wing or anything. She always broke the nose of it off. Yeah, it back on, and we go back out and fly it, and bang, it hit again, and the thing would break off again, and I glue it back on. And
You know, I think if he's going to listen to what I have to say, and, you know, I think it's going to be famous last words, fine, but yeah, we'll get there. And here we go. We have a twister that's actually sitting on its wheels. Ta-da!
yeah, the biggest thing with Samantha was it was like on the landings, if it was windy or whatever, she stalled the airplane a couple times in the beginning and whack, took the nose off, and
Yep. So,
you know what? It's too bad you couldn't have matched that color from the fuselage on the checkerboard. I like that color blue, actually. That greenish blue. Looks like on here anyway.
this one?
Yeah.
Yeah, to have a checkerboard with a green like this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd have been really something.
Yeah, this is like a fluorescent green. Like this wheel. Yep.
I thought you broke it off there. I'm like, damn. Yeah,
I do this on all my tail wheels. It's the easiest way I know how to do it.
Yeah, that's how Dick does his too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put it up in there.
Yeah. It works well.
Guys, I'm gonna hit it.
Okay, Steve.
I gotta still try to find a damn rudder. I cannot find. I don't know what I did with it. It fell down between something or whatever. I had everything here. That's the last part I got to put on the airplane this time is the rudder.
Yeah, I'm gonna call it quits too.
That's what 10 after 12 now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like we're all gonna call it a day. So I guess we might as well just call it a day.
Yeah, we'll see it all done on Monday, huh?
Maybe.
Okay.
All right, guys.
See you.
All right.
Take care. Good night.
Night.
Well, that was quick. Guess I'm the only one on. Everybody left me. I was just answering Ronnie Layden on here about my Camaro. So let me finish typing that. Well, I'll just tell you about that. I raced a 67 Camaro with a 4-bolt 350, had a Muncie M22 Rock Crusher, 4-speed, 513 rear gear, and it had a pretty hot cam in it. Had the double camel hump heads, with a double springs, 202 intake, 198 exhaust valves, and a Edelbrock Scorpion intake manifold, and this plain old hooker headers. It ran pretty good. I ran it fastest it ever ran was 13 seconds, and it was strictly a backyard production. But anyway, to answer your question about what I used to drag race, that was it, and it was strictly like I said, a shade tree backyard production. But had a lot of fun. That was back about 1980, and I gave all of my stuff away to a guy from Cox Engine Forums who's got all of it in Atlanta and is trying to recreate something close to what I had engine wise. So hope that turns out. Anyway, everybody's gone on the video side now. So thank y'all. You YouTubers, appreciate it. We got 14 of you still watching. So I guess everybody do something fun this weekend. Come back and tell us about it Monday. Have fun. And I guess we'll see y'all later. So this is Rusty signing off. Good night.